So thanks for joining me again. And for any of you out there that are searching for questions and answers, I noticed that some of you are putting questions down in the comments, but some of the questions I have answered if you check in my videos. So if you just click on videos and you look at my past videos, whether it's under spiritual teaching or different mantra practices like mantras for dispelling negativity or mantras of the heart or enlightenment, you can look through these different playlists and find the answer to your questions in a lot of cases. The other thing I wanted to say before I start is that these satsangs and these videos will be available on MP3 on my website. So one by one, I am putting them on there. So for any of you out there that wish to take these videos with you, if you don't have access to the internet and you just want to listen to it on your phone or cycle through them, put them in a playlist, almost like tarot cards, and just put them on random, and then whatever comes up may be what you need to deal with in that particular day. So yeah, this could be a very useful tool for you on your spiritual journey. So I will be doing this for you on my website. So check that out at jasongallant.ca if you want. So today I want to talk about escapism. And many people mistake the spiritual journey with escape. All right? But really what spirituality is about, really what enlightenment is about the embracing of everything, of the totality. Even the embracing of you living your life and surviving and doing what's necessary to do so, but there is an internal embracing. So what's really happening with a lot of people that's causing so much suffering is that they are trying to escape from that which cannot be escaped from. Many people are using many different tools to escape from themselves. Now the tragedy about this is that when you are fully with the heart, yes, there will be pain. There will be pain at first. Kind of like a baby cries when it first comes out of the womb, there is pain of the initial experience, the shock of the added awareness, the awareness of the physical body. It's the same thing with the heart. When the heart expands, at first there is pain, but at some point there comes unconditional bliss. So someone down below said, well, what do? I just accept something and I just cry? Well, you're not going to die from crying. Crying hasn't killed anybody, right? It's just a matter of being open to whatever is moving through you. You're really just a musical instrument, like Krishna's flute. So when you allow energy to move through you, it can come in the form of grief. It can come in the form of sadness or depression. It can come in these forms. But really, this is just a temporary state. Now, some people say, Jason, I've been suffering for 20 years, 30 years, this is just continual. And I will say to you, the reason why it's taking so long for you to experience more of the unconditional state is because you are pushing away or rejecting what is trying to move through you. So you're slowing down a process. You're slowing down the divinization of this energy. You're here to become one with the density. So it's the less dense or the non-density with the density, and when the two become one, there's a divine expansion, you could say. So in many areas of modern society, we have people with suppression, with a mass suppression going on. And they do it through drugs, they do it through overachievement, they do it through constant mind chatter. But really all of this is a compensation. In many cases, it's a compensation for pain that is unwanted, rejected energy. Now, as this energy becomes one with you, it carries wonderful things. It carries wonderful experiences of love and joy. It carries wisdom. It carries spaciousness and detachment from those next times that pain moves through you as well. So there will be more space between you and the next layer of pain. So some of you that have been on the spiritual journey for some time may have noticed that when you go through similar cycles of pain, whether it's emotional or some type of stress in your life, that there is a certain amount of okayness that is still with you at the same time. Right? If it rains outside and you know eventually the sun will come again, you don't worry so much about the rain. You just allow that process to happen. and understand that that is what's necessary in order for the trees to grow and the flowers to bloom. It's also the same inside you. You will bloom as you allow this fertile energy to move through you. And yes, sometimes there can be crying. Yes, there can be grief of some sort, or sadness, or shame, or embarrassment. Lots of different energies. It doesn't matter what it is. Just know that you are not any of it. You are not any of it. And it doesn't have any meaning about you or what's happening, really. There's no meaning on it. It's just a matter of just allowing. And if you can do this, you can short track your spiritual progress by thousands of years, right? So many people try to micromanage everything as it moves through. It's kind of like trying to micromanage everything as it moves through your digestive system. There's really no need for it. Just allow it to pass, right? Just allow it to pass. You see, in this process, that is where the mystical experience happens. That is where the mystical chain reaction happens. You must allow the many elements to become one in order for oneness to become your experience. So you start by not judging your suffering, not judging so strongly what is happening within. And then what you do externally can be many different things. You must open your heart to all that is within in order for the heart to do its job. And the heart brings oneness to everything. Sorry if I'm squinting, the sun's pretty bright here. So I hope this helps you understand that it's not about micromanaging your life. Spirituality and enlightenment is not about micromanaging and changing things around. It's more about why you are doing this. And so many times, the ego wants to be right about suffering and wants to continually go over and over and over again the same cycle of suffering, instead of just allowing that suffering to happen and say, okay, there's nothing I can do about it, just accept it and let it move through. It's really not your responsibility. It's not your responsibility to figure it out. That's bringing in the mind, and as soon as you bring the mind in, it's like putting a cork on top of the bottle. It just stops everything from moving to the divine. It just stops it because it says, I want to figure this out first before I can let it go. But what if you could just let it go? What if you could just decide in this moment to let any pain move through you or to be with you and just wait it out? The more power you gain as being the mountain, as being the internal Shiva, the more the winds and storms can whip around you, but you are still unmoving. Remember that you are the mountain. Remember that the storm cannot blow you over, no matter what shape it comes in. Remember your indestructible, immortal self. Things can fly around you, but you are unaffected, really. At your core, it never affects you. So I hope this helps. Take care for now.